So my name is Rahim Bhimani. I'm originally from Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Now I live in San Francisco, California. I'm an industrial designer and a design strategist, and I'm also really passionate about problem solving. Ever since I was young, I was always playing with Lego and making things and taking things apart. When I was growing up, my parents didn't buy me video games. Instead, they gave me Lego, so I guess that had something to do with what I'm doing right now. The image on the right is the first product I ever designed. It was in grade 4. It was called Kangaroo Hopping Shoes, and yeah, I'm pretty proud about that. It didn't really go anywhere, though. I went to Carleton University in Ottawa, Canada. Right now, it's about 25, 26 degrees in Cape Town here. In Ottawa right now, it's probably negative 25, 26 degrees, so it's pretty cold down there. I had an amazing experience at Carleton University studying industrial design and minoring in business. I also want to thank the director of the school, Thomas Garvey, for allowing me and giving me this opportunity. And also I want to thank Indaba for allowing me to be here. So right now I'm doing an MBA in design strategy. What is an MBA in design strategy? An MBA in design strategy is a mix of design and business. And I, for one, really believe in the merger of design and business, because at the end of the day, what we're doing, what we're making products and things like that, it is a business. And the cool thing about this program is every course you take economics, you take accounting, but design is integrated into the curriculum, and that's what makes it really exciting. Now, the first project I'm going to talk to you about is really fascinating. This image, I'm pretty sure it brings back a lot of good memories from 2 years ago when the World Cup was in South Africa. Now, athletes and individuals that play sports, you can, after you're done playing sports, you take off your shoe, and it typically really does smell really bad. So what I tried to address was, how do you solve this problem? Now, let's look at a scenario. There's 2 individuals here. One suffers from hyperhidrosis, which is an excessive sweating disorder, and he gets made fun of. And now, what do individuals do right now to take care of this, to solve the problem of odor in their shoes? Well, first of all, they do nothing. They leave it in their bags. They use anti-odor sprays. That doesn't really do anything, because all that does is that really just masks the smell. It doesn't kill the bacteria or odor. Or they just leave it out. I started doing some research. I found 2 products that use ultraviolet light to kill odor in your shoes. Now, this project originally started as I was told by my professor Biarki to design a shoe dryer. And what a shoe dryer is in Canada, you're typically during the winter months, your shoes get really wet. So what it is, it's pretty much a heater for your shoes. And we were asked to redesign that, but I typically went to focus on athletes. And then that led to me realizing that they're not really concerned about their shoes being dried. They're more concerned about the odor and bacteria issues within the shoes. And then I bought that product on the top left, and took it apart and tried to mess around with it, see how it works and all that. Now, the concept phase. So the first 2 concepts I did were just pretty much consoles that you put in your shoe with, that use UV light. And I got slaughtered in my crit because I didn't really take into consideration that UV light is actually harmful to the user's eyes. So then the third concept was using a bag and putting it in a bag. And that was a big hurdle that I had to kind of overcome. Then I started doing some testing, model making, trying to figure out how this thing would all come together. And yeah, and here's an interview that from the Discovery Channel.
May not smell all that nice, but mine, beautiful.
What a bouquet! Okay, we're going to get to a solution to the stinky shoe business, and that's coming up next on Daily Planet. I can't believe you tricked me to smell it. It's awful!
Out of the box. Beautiful. Check out these sneakers, not right out of the box. They stink. That's not an uncommon problem, but it might be a problem of the past if Rahim Bhimani has his way. This guy has invented a system to take the stink out of your shoes. It made the short list for the 2010 DYSON Awards. Those are Student Invention Awards. He's a design student at Carleton University, and he's right here with me now. Hi.
Hi.
So, what have you come up with? This is an earth-shattering invention, I gotta tell you.
All right, so basically, this is a sports bag, and it uses the power of ultraviolet light, UV light, and it eliminates the odor and bacteria from your shoe.
So it actually kills the bacteria?
It kills the bacteria.
So show me how it would work.
All right, so it's called UVSP. It's in this clever sports bag. So you would put your smelly shoes into the bag, and then you stick these UV hubs in like so.
Oh, one in each.
One in each.
To get right at the bacteria.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
And then you stick them in, like
Yeah, so let's get them in.
And then, now the thing about UV light is it's harmful to the user's eyes. So what I came up with is this zipper that actually shuts it in, and it doesn't turn on till you snap it, and that's when it turns on and activates it.
Let's show this to the camera. So here's you've zipped it up already, but until you do this snap,
that's when it turns on.
that's when the UV lights turn on.
Yeah, so that was just kind of giving you a summary of what that product was. So this was my roommate modeling my product. I kind of wish he shaved that day though, but what are you going to do? Yeah, so this is UVSP, the Ultraviolet Sports Pack, which severs the link between sport and smell. I was really grateful because I submitted this project to the James Dyson Award, and although I didn't win any money or anything, but I got a lot of media publicity, and I guess for a young designer, that's pretty much all you need. The next project I'm going to talk to you about is how do individuals go to the bathroom following a natural disaster? It's very unfortunate. Natural disasters happen. They're very unpredictable. We all know what happened in Japan last year, and in Haiti 2 years ago, and in Chile. So my project began, this was my thesis project, and we joined in with this program in Toronto called the Institute Without Boundaries, the IWB, which is founded by Bruce Mao. And what we did was, so that program, the whole emphasis behind that program is, their job is to look for a city to propose ideas to revitalize the city. So we went to this former mining town in southern Chile called LOTA. And now the thing about LOTA is it's a former mining town and it was hit by the earthquake. And the population is 50,000 and 10,000 individuals live in temporary housing. Toronto, Ontario. I'm a Carleton Industrial Design student and I'm doing my thesis project on LOTA, but I'm focusing on temporary housing.
Vengo a buscar, te llevaré. Vengo a buscarte, yo te llevaré. Dame tu mano, no me dejes.
What was your experience in your first few days here?
The first day when I was with you and we went inside the Mediawas, it's unbelievable. Like, we complain about our problems and our living situations in Toronto and in the West, and you live here and there's 4 people living in a 4x8, 3x6 meter space, and it's unreal like how people actually are living in like this, and they're dealing with issues that we take for granted, like everyday issues like water and food and just hygiene and stuff like that. I think this is a really unique experience to get into humanitarian design and try to do something that's less commercial and actually design something to actually help people. Not that other products don't help people, but this is more real in terms of how people are daily living day to day. So I decided to focus on bathroom issues. Now, there's 3 main ways individuals go to the bathroom in LOTA. The first, on the top left, is a chemical bathroom, which is really gross and disgusting, and it's not taken care of. And I was interviewing a woman, and she actually got sick by going to them. The bottom image is a shipping container. Now, this is pretty much the Rolls-Royce of bathrooms in LOTA. Now, individuals, not everyone has access to these because it's only for certain temporary housing communities. And the third unfortunate way individuals go to the bathroom are buckets. Now, what actually inspired me to do this project, because let's be realistic here, who wants to spend 8 months working on a toilet for their thesis project? So this family right here, the woman was actually pregnant, and the gentleman, the night before I actually interviewed him, they used buckets to go to the bathroom, and he was actually discarding his waste. And then the police stopped him and gave him a warning for that. So right then and there, you kind of think about what other options are there, or what do you really do? Now let's look at the bigger picture, places like Haiti. People are going to the bathroom in the water, then they're drinking the water, and that's how diseases like cholera and other diarrheal diseases are spreading. Now, currently, there's 2.6 billion people in the world that lack basic sanitation needs, and that's an incredible number. Now, if you look at South Africa, the population is about 50 million. That's pretty much, imagine 1/3 of your population not having access to a bathroom. Now, how this project began. So I started looking at doing market research and building prototypes and sketching and all that stuff. I found this one product on the top left that is called the pee-poo bag, and it was developed by Oxfam. And what it is it's a biodegradable bag that individuals, it's actually being implemented in Haiti and Kenya right now. And it's just a one-time use bag that you put your waste in it and then you just bury it and it's biodegradable. Now, I was also looking at composting toilets for a fair amount of time. Now, the thing is about composting toilets are during a disaster, no one's actually going to compost their waste. It's just not realistic. In terms of model making, I love model making, and I think prototyping is a really important part about design. Now, I'm going to tell you a quick spiel about this toilet. So this is the first model I made right after I did my sketches and did my CAD. And I have really long legs, so when I first designed this, I thought it was awesome. But now imagine a typical toilet. Now, a typical toilet's actually pivoted inwards, and this is pivoted outwards. So it was very, very uncomfortable for most people. So that was just really obvious, something really obvious that I didn't even realize until I actually made a model. Now, this was my solution. It's called the DR toilet, the disaster relief toilet system. So the whole emphasis behind this is it's a flat pack toilet system for disaster relief. So aid organizations can send this out following a natural disaster. And this was the model that I made of the toilet, which I'm really proud of, and it took a long time.
My innovation is called the DR toilet, the disaster relief toilet system, which features a toilet and cart and tent. It's a flat pack toilet system that can easily be shipped out following a natural disaster and assembled very easily. This toilet system uses biodegradable bags, which allows the user to simply discard their waste. It also features a tent, which creates privacy and awareness of the system. I did not want to include any tools in order to assemble this cart, so I decided to use a slot head screw that can easily be assembled with the use of a coin or a butter knife. And this is the final use cycle. Thank you.
And I just want to end it off with my favorite quote from, this was at the Dieter Rams exhibit at the MoMA in San Francisco, question everything generally thought to be obvious. And thank you for your time.